After more than 4 decades running a downtown St. Cloud bar, the owners have poured their last beer. There was a changing of the guard at the Press Bar and Parlor last week when longtime owners Jim Gillespie and Greg Payne turned the keys over to Andrew and Jessie Welsh. It's one of the most historic bars in town, dating back to 1942. When the original owner, Fritzy Frank, moved into the building at 502 St. Germain Street, it was a pool hall on the main floor, and there was a beauty parlor up in the second floor. It was just half the size that we know it today, with a carpet store on the west side. Frank expanded into the carpet store location in the early 1950s. He ran the Press Bar and Cafe primarily as a restaurant during his 27 years of owning it. And after a couple of other brief ownerships, Gillespie and Payne bought the business in early 1975. And at the time, the upstairs had been turned into apartments. Gillespie says one of the more famous people that lived upstairs for free in exchange for doing some work around the bar was Paul Ellering.
I still remember Paul Ellering lived up there, and he eventually became a pro wrestler with the Road Warriors. And when he lived up there, he was big. He lived for nothing. He ate a lot of big steaks and working out up there. And we had a tough time getting him out of there. Eventually, Paul, you got to leave. We're finally going to knock out your bedroom.
In 1977, the upstairs was converted into a game room pool hall. The game room was very popular until about the mid-1980s. Another renovation in 1984 transformed the main bar into what it looks like today, including moving the front door from the middle of the building to the corner. Gillespie says the people are what he'll remember the most. He says it's hard to say how many marriages got their start at the Press.
And there was one time where there was about 40 people here, and one couple said, "Yeah, I met my husband here." And he looked there and said, "Yeah, we met here in 1951 or something." Another couple raised their hands. So did we. And it just kept going and going until finally the girl, who was 26, was engaged to be married. And she said, "This is where I met my future husband." And it just got to be one after another. I really wonder how many people met here that ended up getting married.
Gillespie says before last week, the last day that he didn't go into the bar was 11 years ago when his wife died. He says he's seen a lot of changes in the bar business over the years, including the drinking age, the smoking laws, and people's drink preferences. And he says as he looks ahead to retirement, it's not the bar itself, but the staff that he will miss the most.
The people that have worked here are all 18 to 23, 24. And that's what they've always been. They were older than me when I started out, and then I'm older enough to be their older brother, then I'm old enough to be their dad, I'm old enough to be their grandpa, or great-grandpa in some of their cases.
Jim Maurice, WJON.